Hello folks, this is Sola speaking. You're listening to another video for Teamfight Tactics. This footage is taken from a normal game of Teamfight Tactics, and it's not a game that I was necessarily planning to cast, but this one just ended up being kind of unique in its own way. It is a game where I ended up printing money, literally printing money to a completely disgusting degree. Alright, so here on the starting carousel, I have been liking the sword start. This is still early on at the beginning of set 7. And I'm not able to get that. I end up getting this vest instead. So, as I said, I got outclicked, but I feel like you can make do with almost any of the starting items right now, as usual, for Teamfight Tactics. So one of the things that kind of emerged over time with the initial patch, the first patch version of set 7, was that there was this reroll comp that developed based on rerolling for Ezreal and then pairing Ezreal with Leona and Taric and Karma and Ashe, and those are kind of the main pieces of that particular team comp. Now, I played this game over the weekend. I'm going to post it during the middle of the upcoming week, so this should get posted right around when the next patch comes out. And I'm sure that the pieces of this reroll comp are going to get nerfed. But Ezreal is kind of the main thing that makes that comp work. Ezreal and then like a very tanky Leona Taric pairing. I am not going to be rerolling Ezreal in this game. You guys know that I'm not big on reroll comps. I'm going to be playing a more traditional fast leveling comp, but I am going to be playing Ezreal. And this was one of the games, like the data was showing that Ezreal was pretty overtuned, but this was one of the games that really helped to highlight that Ezreal, the numbers were just too high for a one-cost unit, because I'm going to end up playing through Ezreal in this game, and hitting a 2-star Ezreal just should not stabilize you to the degree that we're going to see in this game. All right, I was thinking about what to play, and as soon as I see the Varus and the Illaoi pop out, that means that this is a Varus Bruisers game. That is the logical thing to play here. We have 2 Swift Shots already. We have the Ezreal plus the Varus. We have Illaoi for frontline. And I was thinking about the Swift Shot crest, but then I was like, is that actually what I want to play here? Do I really want to run 4 Swift Shots? I was like, I don't think so. So I decided to go for the Portable Forge instead. And I was actually hoping to get one of the tank items. I do have Eternal Winter here, which would not be bad. But then I see the Collector there, and I was like, oh, well, the Collector is going to be better. I had also picked up that Vlad because I was thinking I can play Vlad for Astral Shops, but then I get Skarner, which is even better. So now I literally have every component to play Varus plus Bruisers. I have 3 Astral units in, Varus plus Skarner plus Illaoi. I can put this Bramble Vest on Illaoi to make Illaoi tanky in the early game. And then I've got this Collector item. Now, the Collector is a great item to get at the start of the game. It gives 20 AD, 20 crit chance, attacks and abilities, execute enemies that are low on health, and then you have 50% chance to spawn a gold coin when that happens. So logically, you would put this item on Varus because Varus is an AD-based champion, does physical damage, crit chance is good on him, attack damage is good on him. But then I was like, Ezreal is 2-starred. Varus is only 1-star. I think Ezreal is the right unit to put the Collector on here early in the game. And then I can always look to transfer this item later on over to the Varus. So the plan is I'll have Ezreal use this item for right now because I think he's going to be doing more damage. And if you look at the damage chart, he actually outdamages Varus by a significant amount here. So the plan is we're going to have Ezreal use this item early on. And then later on, presumably it gets transferred to Varus. I could also look to potentially play Xayah down the road if I can get a 2-star Xayah. So we'll see what that turns into. But I think that it's best to have on Ezreal here in the early game. Anyway, I've certainly gotten very lucky here at the start. To hit 2-star Ezreal and find an Illaoi and a Varus is just really ideal for this game's opener. And now I'm just going around and seeing what other people are playing. It looks like a number of other people are playing Astral, but I also see a lot of people have taken somewhat greedy early augments. I think there were 2 different people who took Rich Get Richer, which of course does not really do anything to make you stronger right away, but just gives you a whole bunch of money. So I'm hoping that I can kind of farm some of these opponents that have taken more economic augments, whereas I have gotten more combat-focused power. This is another person playing Astral. They have 2-star Skarner. I actually don't have any 2-stars aside from the Ezreal, so I'm hoping that I can win streak off of this board, but I wasn't exactly sure because my front line is a little bit sketchy. That said, the Bramble is actually pretty good here in the early game. Bramble, not one of the more popular items right now. It's really overshadowed by a Sunfire Cape, which is definitely a better item right now. But, you know, I had the 2 Chain Vests, so I'm certainly going to use that. I wasn't going to try to make a Frozen Heart. Frozen Heart is good on people who can take it into the back line, but Frozen Heart's not especially good to put on frontliners, because what does it do? Well, it slows the attack speed of the tanks on the other team. It's like, well, what is that going to do? Like, do I really care if, like, the Skarner on the other team is attacking more slowly? Not really. It is good if you're up against someone who's playing melee carries like Olaf or Yone, so it is good against them, but typically speaking, you're more likely to want Frozen Heart only if you have like a Diana or a Kiana or a Kayn, an assassin that's jumping into the backlines. So that's why I put the tier on Ezreal, because it'll make him cast faster. I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do with this tier. It could be a Hand of Justice, is always a possibility. Or potentially I can look to maybe make blue buff on Ezreal, because it is one of his best items. All right, now look at this person. This person has 3 2-star units. They have a 2-star Tahm Kench, 2-star Nidalee, 2-star Heimer with a Shojin. So I was not at all sure if I could beat this board. But the Bramble on the Alawi is actually tanking pretty well, and she's going to hold up long enough for the backline to do work. And Ezreal in particular is just absolutely popping people right now. He printed me more gold via the collector. Look how much damage he does. And I think he printed me 2 gold in this fight. He printed me 2 gold in the previous fight. So this is why the collector is really good as a first item. I would not recommend taking it out of the forge, forge augment, if it's your second or third items. But for first item, it's very good because it's going to print a lot of gold and it's going to accelerate your economy quite a bit. All right, as far as this carousel, I can take frontline items to make Alawi Skarner stronger. That's a possibility. If I could take a bow to get like half of Rage Blade, I could take a sword because that'll be good on Varus later on. I'm looking at all these different items, but then I was like, you know, there's still a tier here. Let's play through the Ezreal. Ezreal's our carry right now. We're going to play through the Ezreal and take this tier. So that's going to make a blue buff, which is not an item that you would look to make on like Varus, but it is going to be awfully good on Ezreal. So Ezreal's mana cost is 40 at the moment. I have no idea if this is going to get tweaked in patches later on, but currently his mana cost is 40. So the blue buff gives him 50 mana, which means that he will ult instantly at the start of the fight. And the way that Ezreal's ability works is every time he gets his ultimate off, he stacks up additional attack speed. It's 10% additional attack speed every time he ults. So he kind of has like an inbuilt Rage Blade in his kit due to how his ability works. This is, of course, very similar to how his ability worked in set 6, the previous set. The difference is now he deals magic damage. He does not deal physical damage. So he's not really using the stats on the Collector. The Collector gives crit chance and it gives physical damage. So he's not really using them particularly well. And, of course, Ezreal also stacks up attack speed on the Swift Shot trait if he's further away from his target. So, yeah, he's going to print another 2 gold in this fight, and that actually gets me over 20 gold, which is pretty significant. So I am looking pretty strong here, and I'm honestly surprised at how well Ezreal's doing. One of the things I discovered in this game that I actually did not know previously was that ability power also affects Ezreal's stacking attack speed. So normally he gets 10% attack speed each time he ults, but that actually also scales with his ability power. So if he has extra AP, he gets more attack speed every time he ults as well. And that's probably something he shouldn't get. If he has like 100 AP from like a death cap or something, he doesn't get 10% attack speed per ult. He gets 20% attack speed per ult. And I think that they kind of messed up the scaling there because I don't think he really should be like not only dealing more damage on his ability as he gets AP, but he also gets more attack speed from that as well. Feels like that probably should not be the case. So again, I'm sure that he's going to be nerfed in the patch that's probably coming out around the time that you watch this video. I don't know how they're going to choose to do those nerfs, but we'll have to wait and see. All right, this fight, once again, quite a few 2-stars over there on that other team, but Ez is just, you know, Skarner's going to hold up there long enough for more kills to pop out, and then I'm going to go ahead and sell units to get up to 30 gold. I was thinking, should I hold the Ashes? Maybe I can play Ashe 2-star. Maybe I can play Ashe on level up. But then I was like, no, I don't think I need more damage. I think that what I need right now is another Bruiser on level 6. I think going to 4 Bruisers is what I want there. Now remember, I also have had I've been getting the Astral Shops benefits. That's the first time you see an Astral Shop. But because I've had Astral in from literally the start of the game, every 5 shops is going to show me those Astral units. So that is kind of the plan when you play the Varus plus Bruisers, is the idea. And there you see, look, Ezreal getting 11% bonus attack speed. So he doesn't get 10% bonus attack speed. He gets 11% because we get 5 AP on him from Astral trait. But anyway, as I've played this comp a number of times before, I think I've done a video or two using this comp. The idea is it's very easy to 3-star Varus and 3-star Alawi and 3-star Skarner, ideally as well, because you are getting those Astral Shops as you continue to progress through the game. Frequently, you will stop on level 7 or level 8 and then slow roll there to try to 3-star these units. But sometimes you have to do a different leveling pattern based on, where you are in the kind of the flow of the game. Anyway, I am on full win streak, so I am going to look to play level to level 6 and play 4 Bruisers, which I think makes me quite a bit stronger. I should also play the Shen over playing the Tom Kench. The Shen is definitely a better unit. I'm not running Revel trait or anything like that, so there's no reason to be playing Tom Kench over Shen if they're both 1-star. And mostly I'm just trying to keep Ezreal safe. I'm trying to scout the other teams to see if anyone has assassins that are going to be diving on him. I believe one person had an assassin out there that was pointed on the left-hand side, so I'll just scuttle Ezreal over there to the right-hand side. And this person's only level 5. They took Earth's grab bag. So for their augments, they've got a spatula. I also got a spatula, so that's actually pretty significant as well. I was like, all right, well, how do I use this spatula? Because now I've got this spatula. I mean, always I could try to hope for another one to make Force of Nature, or Tactician's Crown, it's officially called. By the way, Ezreal printed 4 gold in that fight. Absolutely disgusting. He got the gold coin on 4 of the enemy 5 units. Crazy. So I have to think about what I want to do with this spatula. And Ezreal plus Bruiser, or Ezreal plus Bruisers, it's really Varus plus Bruisers. We'll get back to that in a second. It's not a comp that typically makes use of a spatula. So here I'm thinking about what I want. Future Sight is bugged in this patch version, so you don't want to take that. High-end shopping, I don't want either. So I was looking here, I was like, oh, Stand United, not bad, but I think this is better. Prismatic Celestial Blessing, just really, really good. It's something that's fairly weak at the start of the game, but it will scale really, really well as the game goes on. So I'm going to go ahead and take that, and I did use my reroll there, my augment reroll, but if there's any time to use the augment reroll, it's when you have Prismatic, so you can try to get something that's better tailored to your comp. Like I said, the Future Sight is bugged, and I didn't want to take high-end shopping. You actually see one of the other players taking high-end shopping. I'm looking at the other ones. High-end shopping traditionally has been pretty bad in the data. It's just not that good as a Prismatic augment. It sounds good, but it doesn't give you any direct combat power. And as far as economic stuff goes, it tends to be a lot weaker than some of the other options that... Oh, wow, that person has double Earth's grab bag. So I guess they just took the Force of Nature, and then someone has double Tome of Traits. It tends to be weaker than some of the other economic augments. Traditionally, it was weaker than things like Level Up and March of Progress. I think that that's gotten shuffled around a little bit in this set because they changed around how some of these augments work. But traditionally, high-end shopping has not been a good choice. It has had one of the worst placement results in the data pretty consistently all throughout set 6. And then I believe that's still the case in set 7. So I get the Prismatic Celestial instead, and that's going to be much better. I would vastly prefer having this. This is going to scale really, really well into the late game. It means I do not have to itemize healing or lifesteal on my units because innately 35% of the damage they do is going to get converted into healing. All right, now let's think back to that spatula again. Now remember, I was trying to figure out what am I going to do with this spatula, and one option is I can actually make use of it and play into Idis. Typically, this is a team composition that does not run a dragon. It's kind of like the quirky team comp in that sense. Sometimes you can run Siphon if you want, because Siphon is a bruiser. You can just run Siphon for like a really strong bruiser that goes along with the rest of this comp. But I get the early Idis, and I was like, you know what? I've got this spatula. If I can get a belt, which shouldn't be too hard to do, if I can get a belt, then I can play Idis. I'll turn one of the bruisers into a guardian, and then we'll just play Idis for frontline, and we'll have guardian plus 4 bruisers, and that should be a super tanky frontline. So I really like the look of that. So this is me getting something, the spatula, and then me wanting to adapt my team composition to it. I was actually getting ready to go to level 7, but I wanted to hold until after this combat, and I actually end up losing a round. It's my first loss of the game, and that person has rolled down to 10 gold at level 6, so I'm not surprised that I lost to them. It's a little bit unfortunate, but I am going to take a loss here. Also slightly sad on this carousel, there is no belt on the carousel, so if I'm going to make a Guardian Spatula, it's not going to be off of this round. I do have this leftover rod sitting on my bench, though, so if I can get a bow, I can make Rage Blade, and that would be quite nice as well, since I'm playing this Swift Shot attack damage-based comp. So we'll just grab the Volibear. There was another bow left over, but Elise and Volibear are both 3-cost champions, so does not gain me anything to take it on an Elise as opposed to a Volibear. So, all right, let's just go ahead and take this. I'll pick up this Ezreal in case I want to sell and replace Ezreal later on. So now I would very much like to get this Idis onto the board. I was like, but I would have to drop Bruisers for that. Do I want to do that? I don't know if that's what I want to do. So instead, I'll play just the Twitch right now, but I'm still going to hold on to this Idis because I do want to put this into my team composition. I just need to find a belt. So Twitch is not going to do very much to make me stronger, but now I'm going to try to push to 8 as quickly as possible, and then I can look to take out the Twitch and put in Idis and hope that maybe I can get a belt. I can always force one from Treasure Dragon if I have to, but I'm hoping that I can get one out of the minion rounds. I have not seen a belt so far in this game, so I have decent odds to get one out of the next round. This is the person who is made the Tactician's Crown with the double Earths. And it looks like they're playing a mage board of some kind. We're actually cutting through them pretty quickly. It looks like they don't have quite enough damage in order to cut through all the bruisers. They're kind of playing through Nami as their carry, which I don't think that that's especially good. Nami was super strong when Set 7 came out, but then her damage got nerfed pretty good. And oh, this is a great Astral Shot. We see another Alawi, and we also see a, what is that, an Ornn. Ornn is definitely a unit I want to play, so that's going to get the Tempest straight in play. I had been thinking about playing a Tempest unit just randomly since I have Ezreal in here. I actually picked up a Kiana earlier that I could have just tossed in for random Tempest. But nope, with the Ornn, I don't have to do that. I can just play Ornn and get Tempest in as well. Also, Ornn, very, very good unit, super contested unit. Played in a billion different team compositions right now. We'll see if he gets nerfed in the upcoming patch. That's probably going to be dropping around the time you watch this video. So I'm very happy to play him. And then I'm still going to hold this Shen because I probably want to play Shen over the Sylas unless I go into Whispers long term. I'm still not sure if that's where I'm going to go, so I'll just hold both units for now. And we'll see which one makes more sense for my comp. By the way, Ezreal's still printing more money. He prints like 4 more gold coins in this. And I just continue to be impressed at how strong Ezreal has been. He's not really itemized the way that you would typically itemize Ezreal. Yes, he has a blue buff, which is kind of one of his core items, but like the Collector does not even hit his key stats. Like he really wants ability power, not attack damage. And then the Rage Blade's just kind of like whatever. He's kind of holding this for like Azaya or for the Varus later on. So he doesn't even really have items that are particularly well suited to him, but he's just still cranking it out in these fights. And he's 2-star. He's not 3-star. This is not the reroll Ezreal that goes 3-star and has like Infinity Edge plus Jeweled Gauntlet plus blue buff or something like that. He's just a 2-star unit and he's still cranking it out. Also, by the way, you're going to see me sell the Alawi there. The reason why I do that is Alawi is about to combine into 2-star Alawi, and I don't want her to turn into 2-star Alawi because I want to put this Bramble Vest on the Idis. Now, I sell that so she doesn't combine into 2-star, and then an instant later, after selling, I get an item remover, which I could have used to pop the items off of Alawi. So that was kind of like... that's a little bit disappointing. But in any case, I go to 8. I want to get to level 8 so I can play 4 Bruisers plus play the Idis. Then I'm going to make the Guardian Emblem because I had a belt pop out. That was very fortuitous. And then look what else I have. I have a bow and a rod. So it's like, all right, double Rage Blade. Do I want double Rage Blade? Yes. Yes, I do want double Rage Blade. And then I'm going to put this needlessly big gem, which is my Shimmerscale item. Going to put this on Varus. So I did not get like the most OP Shimmerscale item. I did not get Draven's Axe, which is seen as being by far the best Shimmerscale item. But I do get another thing that's going to print money. What this one does is you put it on someone, and after 15 seconds, if they're still alive, it produces 2 gold. So now I've got the Collector printing money, and now I've got this Shimmerscale item also printing money. And I have Idis in to serve as a super tank, and I have 4 Bruisers in. And on top of that, I have Guardian Trait in because I was able to make a Guardian Emblem. So, I mean, this is feeling pretty good. And out of these options, I'm going to take Cybernetic Shell. I don't think that the Pandora's items is good because it's just too late in the game. That's something you want if it's the start of the game, not if it's the end of the game. And so I'm going to go ahead and take Cybernetics instead. I also didn't want Exiles because I thought it would screw up my positioning a little bit too much. But I'm going to take good old Cybernetics. This is always a useful augment. In the data, this always does really well in terms of placement, in terms of finish rating. So I'm going to take this, and then I'm actually going to move the Shimmerscale item over to Skarner because it means he's going to get the Cybernetics value for it. Yes, this does count for providing a Cybernetics value, so it's going to give him a little extra health and a little extra armor. I thought about putting it on Ornn, but I think Ornn is not always going to survive the 15 seconds. I'm hoping that with Skarner being in the back lines, he's usually going to survive the 15 seconds because he will not pull aggression early in these fights, or at least that's my thinking here. All right, I'm up against this person who also has an Idis, and they actually took Recombobulator for their augment choice there, so I guess their board got scrambled. I do not recommend taking Recombobulator unless your game is looking really hopeless. It generally is not a very good augment. But hey, there we go. Ezreal's still printing money. Shimmerscale item is still printing money. My front line is very tanky. This board is not having much success at getting through it. They have like this Zoe and Bard that I guess popped out a Recombobulator. And Ezreal is still printing more money. So now at this point, I'm like, I think I just go Fast 9 off this board because I have so much money. I just look to Fast 9 this, and then we'll just figure out what we're going to play at level 9. We will continue to play 4 Bruisers, continue to play the Idis, see if we can hit the Xayah, and like my plan is to transition out of Ezreal, go into Xayah, and then we'll find some other unit to play. But I might as well keep the Ezreal in there until I have a 2-star Xayah. I could also look to just keep Ezreal in and play 3-star Ez, but I think I'd rather just transition into a Xayah long term. All right, so I'm scouting some of these other comps. There was an assassin board, and note that I'm trying to protect Ezreal because it's not the Varus that's my carry. It's the Ezreal who's carrying me. Still here on stage 4, a 2-star Ezreal. Still carrying me, 1-cost 2-star unit, but he's still doing the most damage in all these fights, and it's not really that close. Granted, he does have more items than the Varus, but I'm still just literally shocked at how hard this unit is carrying, which is a good indication that this unit's numbers are overtuned here in this particular patch version. I mean, yeah, he is top damage by a country mile. It's not even remotely close. So Ezreal, play through the Ezreal. You put a blue buff on this unit, and he can just carry you like for ages and ages and ages. I do think that I'm probably rolling elsewhere in some regards, but I mean, like, I still have quite a few 1-stars on my board, and I haven't re-rolled at all the entire game. I've just been like pushing levels, so I do think that this is a good indication of how Ezreal does feel pretty overtuned in this patch. All right, in any case, so again, I have double Rage Blade, so now I really want to just get more AD. But since I don't have that, I'm going to go ahead and take a frontline item. I don't need another bow. I have plenty of attack speed. Can't use a rod, so it's definitely getting the belt here. I don't know why it took me a while to come up with that. And don't look now. I'm halfway to level 9 already. This is absolutely disgusting. I am so far out in front of the pace of this lobby because of all the extra gold I've been getting. It's honestly just disgusting right now. Like, most people are just hitting level 8, and if they're doing that, they're going down to low gold. I mean, one of those people was level 7 with like 10 gold in the bank. So I don't know what's going on with them. But like, all this gold is just, as I said, outpaced the lobby, but to a ridiculous extent. Plus, I've still got Prismatic Celestial Blessing, which is going to be amazingly good as the game goes on. So, as I said, my units will get that healing innately, so they're protected against chip damage. It's really good against a team composition like this one. So this person has 3-star Nami. It looks like they've rolled down at level 7 to get the 3-star Nami. And like, one of the ways that Nami wins fights is she just kind of like chips down the rest of the enemy team over time. Like, she just keeps tossing out her ult again and again and again. And if you don't have any healing, then it'll eventually like kill the back lines of your team. But again, I have Prismatic Celestial Blessing, so that just doesn't happen. Like, Varus and Ezreal stay on full health, and I'm actually going to win that fight and knock them down to, I think, fairly low health. So, yeah, I'm on 60. I'm level 8, 62 experience. I'm going to be able to hit level 9 as soon as we hit the end of this stage, which is very early. Typically, the Fast 9 timing is stage 5 carousel. To be level 9 at the beginning of stage 5 with 50 gold in the bank is absolutely insane. So I'm very happy with how this game has gone. The amount of gold that I've generated has just been absurd. There is a Siphon in the shop. I'm not going to look to play that. I'm very content with playing Idis. Now I want to look to try to 2-star Idis and ideally get some more tank items for Idis. I would love to get the double cloak to make a Dragon's Claw, which would not only provide not only would that synergize really, really well with the Bramble Vest, like one super armor item, one super magic resist item. It would also provide innate healing regeneration too. This person's playing Assassins, but Bramble Vest. One place where Assassins are, where Bramble Vest is really good, when you're up against those Assassins, because it means that you are protected against critical strikes. So yeah, I had Ezreal over on the right-hand side. That was deliberate. All the assassins jump on Varus. They murder him with extreme prejudice. But after that, Ezreal stays safe. Okay, Treasure Dragon time. Well, there's a Morelos here. Remember, I do not have a healing debuff in my comp, so that's not bad. And I can also potentially look to make a Zeke's here. And then I see that there's this Yasuo here. I was like, oh, okay. A Zeke's feels pretty good. We can go ahead and look to make that. So let's go ahead. We'll put in Yasuo. He can be our extra unit level 9. I'm going to put the Morelos on Ornn. Morelos is not very strong here in set 7, but Ornn is one of the better appliers of it. It's like him and Sona are two of the better users. Then we'll go ahead and look to make this Zeke's for Yasuo. Yasuo can use the stats reasonably well. It also gives him an item for cybernetics value. And then we can put this vest on the Sylas. And hey, looky what we've got here. We have every single unit with an item for cybernetics value. So they're all going to get the extra health. And more importantly, they're going to get the extra armor, which is more important for the frontliners. So, by the way, we're level 9. So we can just sit here and slow roll at level 9 and start to 3-star stuff. We still get the Astral Shops. So let's go ahead and look to play that. Pick up the extra gold. I have an item remover. I also have the possibility to play into Pike, so that is something I was thinking about, but I decided I think that I would rather just play the Yasuo. And now the other adaptation I need to make is I need to put in Shen, because Shen will give me warrior trait for Yasuo. I think it takes me 1 round for me to see that. And I'm also going to try to grab these Zayas, and we're just going to look to go from there. I mean, I'm level 9, I've got the Yasuo in. I did manage to hit 2-star Itis. That's a big, big hit to get 2-star Itis in here. And there's no rush. We can just slow roll here at level 9. Like, I have 90 HP. If I take a loss or two here, it's not a big deal. But we'll just look to play into more units. Play into higher tiers of these units. And now our goal is 3-star the Varus. Look to find Xayah. I will transition over into Xayah, but I want to 2-star her first. It's better to play the 2-star Ez with items that are very good on Ezreal. So we'll continue playing the Ez until we can 2-star Xayah and just continue collecting more money. So like we'll just slow roll here. There's some more Zayas. I should also pick up the Skarners as well. There's an additional Ornn. There's a Bard. I would love to play Bard, but I don't really see how I get Bard into this team composition. I would have to drop like 4 Bruisers, and that is a possibility. Like I could drop down to 2 Bruisers, but I actually think playing the 4 Bruisers is still really good here. So I think that I end up holding with the 4 Bruisers. I think it's pretty good. Like I would have to drop the Astral Shops to do that, and then I'm going to sell the Ezreals because, as I said, now I'm just trying to find an additional 2 Zayas. I'd have to drop the Astral Shops, and I don't think that that's worth it. Or I'd have to drop Ornn, and I don't think that that's worth it either. So I think in this case, let's keep the 4 Bruisers in. They are super tanky, and they're working really, really well here. Like I said before, this is the Nami team composition again, and this Nami just cannot seem to get through my front line, which is the big deal. I guess they did manage to pop the Ezreal, so that's something, but Varus is still alive. He's still got the Rage Blade. All my tank units are just hanging in there. This person has itemized Sona for damage. Sona's not really a very good damage dealer. I guess that they're probably looking for Zoe and haven't found her yet. By the way, look at all that gold. I get like another 5 gold at the end of this fight. Just more stuff I can roll with. So we'll just keep rolling here. There's another Xayah. And there's another Varus. I guess we could technically try to go for 3-star Itis, but I don't know if I even have enough bench space for that right now. So, yeah, I'm going to keep rolling. And I don't know why I sell the Skarners. There's no reason to sell Skarner. With the Astral Shops, you always have a chance to 3-star those units. So I go ahead and put these items on Xayah. Remember, I have the item remover. If I hit 3-star Varus, I could item remover these off the Xayah and put them on Varus instead. And what do I do with the blue buff? Oh, it goes over to Yasuo. Blue buff, one of Yasuo's best items. I do make a big mistake here, though. Look at my shop. There's a Varus in the shop. I have no idea why I don't see this unit. It's even blinking in the shop. I just honestly apparently completely missed that I had this unit in here. So it looks like I'm not going to be able to pick this up. And I do have now an additional carry on my team in the form of Yasuo. Yasuo with blue is going to be pretty effective. Also, by the way, look at Xayah. Looks like she's going to die to that Talon, but she snaps the feathers back. Remember, we've got Prismatic Celestial Blessing, so she's going to heal off that. And we collect another disgusting 5 gold or something like that. Okay, carousel here. So what am I going to look to find? Well, there's not all that much. I guess I could always take another Guardian emblem, but I don't think that that's that good. There is the Cavalier emblem, which would be kind of interesting. But I would need to play another Cavalier unit. Cavalier Yasuo is really disgusting, but I don't see how I get another Cavalier into my team composition. So instead, I'll just go ahead and take the Sunfire. I think it's better than any of the other options. I guess I could have taken Rage Wing. Maybe that would have been better, actually. If I could have taken Rage, that actually probably would have been better. Turn one of these units into a Rage Wing. I could have turned Varus into a Rage Wing, and then that would have put the trade in play for Shyvana. So I think in retrospect, that was actually the play. And now I'm going to keep rolling with these Astral Shops. Keep rolling here. Remember, I missed the Varus earlier that was in the shop, but guess what? Another Varus pops up, so we make 3-star Varus anyway. But yeah, I guess in retrospect, that would have been better. Turn Varus into a Rage Wing, and then I would have had 3 Rage Wing. I just didn't see that play. So now the question is, do I take the Collector off Xayah and put it on Varus because he's 3-starred? And I was unsure about whether I should do that or not. And that was actually something I went back and forth on a couple of different times over the course of these fights. By the way, this person has 2-star Assassin Whispers Yasuo, which is kind of random. I don't think those are quite the best items to put on Yasuo. I have not been super impressed with turning him into an assassin. It's not bad by any means, but he kind of needs to be a little bit tankier. So he does better with kind of things that make him a little bit beefier than a Whisper's emblem plus an Assassin emblem. Like I said, not terrible, but I don't think those are quite the right emblems. Cavalier is the emblem that really makes him pop off, is my understanding. All right, so we're going to keep rolling here. We've got 8 Alawis. We have 2 Yasuos, 2 Shens. And I just don't feel the need to like roll down here. I feel very comfortable with my setup here. No one has really come that close to beating me anytime in recent memory. So I'm just going to continue slow rolling. I want to get 3-star Alawi, and then I want to get 2-star Yasuo, 2-star Shen. And then we can go from there. And we'll just try to figure it out from that point on. Idas is just so disgustingly tanky with 4 Bruiser. Of course, he is not himself a Bruiser, but he does get the extra health from having Bruiser trade in. Like, he's got that extra health, and then with a Sunfire plus the Bramble, he takes no damage from physical stuff whatsoever. Plus, then he also is getting, remember, the huge shield from having Guardian trait. And any damage he might do, not that he does much damage, also gets converted into healing via the Prismatic Celestial. So we're just kind of dumpstering everybody else in the lobby right now. And the amount of gold that I've printed in this game is really insane. So now I've got Hand of Justice. It's not the best item for me because I have that healing from Prismatic Celestial. But it's not terrible or anything. So I'll just look to put this on Xayah. There is some synergy with the Collector because they both give crit chance. And then, again, I was back to like, do I item remover these off Xayah to put them on Varus? Or do I keep these on Xayah? I could not make up my mind on whether it was better or not to put these in. Varus, of course, stops his attacking periodically to get off his Chain of Corruption, Chain of Constellation, whatever it's called. There we go. Now we're going to hit the 3-star Alawi. Meanwhile, the Xayah is going to hit like the whole board when she snaps back her feathers. Also, I'm getting pretty close to 3-star, Xayah as well. And again, I have no idea why I'm not picking up these Skarners. With the Astral Shops, you always have a decent chance to 3-star Skarner, so I should just pick them up. It's not like I'm lacking bench space, and I am going to keep playing the Skarner. So I can't make up my mind, so I just keep the items on Xayah for right now. As I said, I do think the fact that her Feather Snapback hits most of the board means she's a good one to itemize. Now, she's going to get hooked here in the fight. But the good news is I dodged the Assassins here. This person had Pike and that Assassin Yasuo on the left-hand side. I swapped over to the right. They did not match my swapping, so I'm going to dodge them. And as soon as that happens, the fight's basically over because those Assassins have to get on my backline. If they don't have much chance of success. And my Ghost is currently winning pretty easily against this other person who is also playing a Xayah comp of some kind. So it's unlikely I'm going to hit 3-star Xayah, but, you know, if I can get maybe one more and then get like a champion duplicator to pop out of a minion round, that's always a possibility. I guess I could pick up the Orns as well. And, like, look at this Astral Shop. I get 3 Skarners in the Astral Shop. Again, the Astral Shop, what pops out is not related to what level you are. I'm level 9. Obviously, I would not get 3 Skarners from the shop, but as I said, Astral Shops do funky things. So I could have had 3-star Skarner here, I think, pretty easily. No reason not to pick those up. All right, so we're down to just 2 of us in the lobby. I still have this item remover. I still couldn't decide if I wanted the item remover, so I just kept them on Xayah, and I think that was fine. So yeah, my whole board is 2-starred now. I finally got the 2-star Yasuo and the 2-star Shen. And we have 7 Zayas, so I was like, all right, well, let's keep going. We're close to hitting that 3-star Zaya as well. And I just feel like my board is super duper capped because I've had an insane amount of gold to roll with. This other person's board is not bad by any means, but like their talent is not able to kill my backlines, and my whole front line is still alive. And yeah, we're winning pretty easily. And then this person just quits the lobby. They were like, apparently they did not think they had any chance of beating me, which was a little sad because I was about to roll all my gold and try to find 3-star Zaya. I would have loved to have found 3-star Zaya, but it does not end up happening. And this game was just pretty disgusting from start to finish. The Ezreal, so strong. I could not believe how much money he printed for me, but it's a win. And that unit will definitely be getting nerfed around the time you watch this. In any case, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed this one. Until next time, take care, folks.